Alright, I couldn't go without doing one more of these, okay guys? So, I think when it comes to all of the things that came out of this Game Awards, this soulless, depraved event, I think you all know what I'm about to talk about. This game called 9 to 5. Red Hill Studios basically they made this trailer that showcased a bunch of bunnies, and they basically they touted the game was like Max Payne meets Quantum Break meets ARMA 3 meets World of Tanks meets Trivial Pursuit Mobile. And I don't know what they were trying to insinuate with all these references to other popular games, but I found it hilarious. And then the actual ad starts, and it's brutally awful. And then the bunnies break a television. Some guy's on his computer, and this guy is like this crazy military operative, and he just... I'm sorry, it's so funny. He shoots the computer and it breaks the image, and it's this really funny moment where you realize, oh, this is the game. And it is revealed that this game called 9 to 5 is a first-person tactical shooter. It's interesting. It's teams of 3. So it sounds to me like this could be similar to something we might experience in, say, a certain game called Rainbow Six Quarantine, except that game's going to be player versus enemy, whereas this game is a PvP experience exclusively. According to PC Gamer, which I've been looking at for all this stuff, apparently it will be 3v3, and it will be a 3-round format, and the objectives, so it'll be objective based too, and the objectives will change positioning, I guess, every round. So it looks like it could be a pretty interesting game. There's not a lot to go off on the trailer, except that it looks like it's in some sort of computer facility or something like that, some sort of underground facility of some sort, which is interesting. And I can't really tell what it's gonna be interesting. There's this one part where it shows a gun. It looks like an MP5 that it shows, because obviously it can't be a first-person shooter without an MP5. So whatever the case, they're in some sort of computer laboratory, and it's got this really moody lighting that reminds me of the original trailer for Rainbow Six Siege back in 2014. So they may be trying to give us that sort of tactical team-based combat that we really never got from Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, Siege is still a decent game overall, but this game says it's a focus on team play over anything. And if this is a 3v3 3-round mode, this game is going to be probably one of the slowest paced games out there. And for all the crap that I've given the Game Awards, this was one of the better things to come out of it. And this Red Hill Studios apparently is comprised of developers from Remedy, which explains the connection to Quantum Break. And I guess it's a bunch of people from other studios, so it could be interesting. I'm very interested in seeing what this game is about. When it comes to indie studios making first-person tactical shooters, the market isn't exactly at its best right now. And when I say it's not exactly at its best, half of the tactical shooters on Steam are either garbage or Rainbow Six Siege or garbage. Steam doesn't really have a lot to show for itself right now in terms of really good tactical shooters. So I hope this one turns out good. It looks like they have their crap together. Honestly, based on the trailer, it looks like they have a pretty clear vision for what they're going for. And supposedly there's an open alpha, or an alpha you can sign up for in 2020, sometime in 2020. Who knows when that could be, but whenever it is, I'm actually really interested in trying this game out and seeing what it is. 3v3 is kind of a rare thing. In fact, I don't think I've ever played 3v3 exclusively, aside from when teammates leave in Rainbow Six, because it's Rainbow Six and teammates leave. But having like an exclusively 3v3 game mode could be interesting, and with like shifting objectives every time you have to kind of change your strategy. That's kind of those two things are kind of the hallmarks of tactical shooters, is having the teamwork, having the callouts, and having to adjust your strategy, and just generally having to have strategy in the first place. So I'm very interested to see how this turns out. I'm definitely going to be following this game for the long run, but this is going to be my last. I'm obviously going to be showing the trailer in the background again. The first part of the trailer is so weird, but I love the fact that they kind of broke the fourth wall by kind of crapping on all of the industry norms and then announcing they're making a 3v3 tactical shooter, which is probably one of the weirder premises for a game, but I have to admit that at least it's a unique idea, and with the objectives shifting every time, I think it's not going to be a revolutionary game by any means, but it is going to be something that I think challenges the norm. And if this game gets any sort of community around it, which I think it will, there's a community for every game, obviously, but this game getting the Game Awards coverage is definitely going to help a lot, and I'm glad to see a game like this getting coverage from something like the Game Awards. And like I said, I'll definitely be keeping a keen eye on this one because it looks pretty interesting. And I mean, 3v3 is something you so rarely see, like an actually interesting way to go. Like each of you have a different rotation. Each player has a unique rotation to go on. So who knows? We'll see what happens. But these three games that I've been covering are the ones that I have seen and I think are the most interesting, and coincidentally enough, all three of them have been games that have been sort of on the low or are sort of independent style games, aside from New World because that's made by Amazon, literally the opposite of independent. Thank you all very much for watching. I will link the you can actually sign up for the alpha, so I will link that. I did sign up. I think the website is up and running now. They were getting a flood of people from the Game Awards because everybody just loved the trailer. Like, it's getting a lot of love for being just something unique in the kind of expected stuff. The same with Ghost of Tsushima. That was something really refreshing in the typical, the Fast and Furious trailer was hilariously awful and looks like a game that was made on PS2. But anyways, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll be getting back to impressions and playing actual video games and stuff, and not just begging for anything new. But anyways, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.